Hi, all. This is Gopalakrishnan Palanichamy, and this is my final submission for Coursera's Human Factors in AI peer review project. So let's get started. So in this presentation, we will see about the four particulars. First thing is a task analysis, follows with the user experience design, privacy considerations, and ethical considerations. So let's get into the task analysis. Here I just taken a project for creating an ML solution, moreover a deep reinforcement machine learning solution to identify the application security vulnerabilities in the given mobile application. It may be either or Android. And the main key task will be the creating a new DRL based model to identify the vulnerabilities, and it will self learn from the multiple iterations. Okay. So the next thing will be the creating a new virtual environment for the software agent where it can play and learns about the identifying the vulnerabilities, and it will keep on learning in themselves until we'll get most of the vulnerabilities. Okay. And this virtual environment we will provide this to the application developers where they can install their application, and usually they play with their application for all the features and the functionality. By doing so, we will kind of recording all the actions or the interactions between the application, so it will be given as an input to our software agent. The next thing will be creating a Q table. It's kind of a critical for the any software agent in the DRL solution. So that will contains the accurate states, the rewards, and the actions for the software agent. So the agent will self-learns with the multiple iterations and environment, and it try to identify as much as the vulnerabilities without any human influence. And to get in the insights, either the existing solutions can only do the static analysis. Our solution is kind of doing a kind of a dynamic assessment of the security vulnerabilities in the runtime. So once the application published in the market, the existing solutions don't have any scope. They couldn't find out any other vulnerabilities that will happen in the runtime, right? And that's the main reason we are going to, with our solution, we are going to solve this particular problem for the application developers. Let's get into the user experience. Listen, I just given a high level of the solution, what it will look like, and this is where we'll provide an static web application portal, so they can upload the binary in the sense the executable file for Android or iOS. Once they provide it, then we will create a virtual environment. The virtual environment is nothing but a mobile application simulator, and also we will have the data processing engine unit. I'm using kind of NLP based transformer model here, and inside of that I call it a dash engine. This engine will contains a main component as a DRL model, that is our deep reinforcement learning model. Along with that, we will have some assessment scripts, and we will have some certification pinning logic, and that will be the proxy service which will be used to cover all the network traffic between the API endpoints and the application. So this is I just given the steps here. So initially the user will visit our web application where we provide an option to upload their application binary files. Then our solution will validate if the uploaded binary is valid or not. Once validation is done, then we will create a virtual environment. Here, once again, will be the mobile application simulator, and we will automatically install the application. Whatever they have uploaded. Now the user will play with the functionalities and the options in the simulator. While doing that, our system will record all the possible transactions and analyze about the data that is created by application, either maybe in transit or it may be data at rest. And post that, our software agent will initialize with the initial level of Q table that have some known states, actions, and reward for finding a known common vulnerabilities. Post that, that Q table will be kind of updated for the every iteration, or moreover every vulnerability that has been found out. In the multiple iterations, the software agent will be trained and identify the vulnerabilities without any human intervention. Okay, and these vulnerabilities again will be present to the user in the human readable form, moreover like a PDF, so they can take further actions or the measures in the application to prevent any security vulnerabilities in the runtime before publishing into the app stores. Right? So here the privacy considerations, and the data we are going to dealing with in our solution will be the application log, in the sense mobile application logs, logcats, the data provided by the user while testing the application, like they doing in sign up form, or they provide some other info, their banking and financial applications, and moreover the mobile application preference, what their preference against, or moreover in the application, and the files that is created and managed by the application, and also the network traffic, in the sense whatever the transaction happened between the application and the API endpoints. So as we are dealing a little bit with the privacy information, we need to be very concerned. We need to be very clear about how we are going to deal with the data. As some of the data we are dealing with may or may not contain some application specific information, and it may contain some encryption keys or and it moreover the very critical PAS in the sense of the personal identifier information. And as is this particular solution, I thought it would be like a global as you can find the application developer throughout the world. Is does not going to restrict for one other or two countries, say for, but I'm just going to restrict for initial time. So as the solution is for the global mobile application developers that is recognized by the Google and Apple app stores, then we need to comply with the most of the privacy policies. Let's say the same famous one or like the GDPR or the US privacy laws or the Australian privacies or wherever the application is kind of, the application developer is going to use our solution. And let's get into the ethical consideration. See, the main bias in the solution, what I'm in my perspective is, so we can't take all the application categories and train at once. Initially, I'm just taking the fintech here. So, as of our model will be trained with the available applications. Say, consider will be some hundreds of applications. So there will be we're going to create some community developer community, and we will ask them to test their applications. So there's a chances there will be new categories also introduced in the future, right? But as of now, as we once we started trending with the fintech category applications, we can expect some bias in identifying the vulnerabilities whenever we introduce our model or someone test our model for the applications. And let's see the goals of the ethical eye is I'm just listed three items here. So let's get into fairness. Our proposal solution will be open to all. We are not going to restrict some developers or based on their size, organization size, or the number of applications they already released, or the idea about the social security, sorry, more over the security issues. Okay, and the accountability is our company who are we developing the solution as a responsible. In case of any false positive, as like we are dealing with the machine learning model, there's a chances it may produce some positive, false positives. So we need to be very clear about it, or and also we are need to very clear about the privacy issue. If there is a data leak or any breach, then we are the suppose we have to take care of all these items. And the transparency, this is another level of ethical. It has to be very clear about that. So our solution will try to provide all the possible outcomes to the user. So we are not going to hide something there and here. Even in case of the false positive, we are not going to hide it. We will say that hey, this is the false positive, and we are taking necessary measures to in the next set of iterations. Okay, so we will update about them how we are dealing with that collected data in their application and while testing our virtual environment. This is also an important. So we will respect the user's preference about the data. So we are not going to say consider if they are not going to provide all the details in the while they are testing the application environment. We're not going to question that. Whatever data we have received, then we will do that test over that. That's it. So thank you. That's it from my side. Please review and share any comments. Thank you. Thank you.